from Onensa. I teach aerial silk and pole dance classes, and also practice a lot with handstands. So in the beginning of every class I also do the headstand and handstand with the girls, and I would also like to share that with you. So if you have never tried a headstand before, or if you did when you were a child and never tried anymore after, it's a very good video to learn how to get into it. But also, if you're already able to do the headstand, here are some tips to get into the headstand without the wall and how to strengthen the rise muscles. So I would like to wish you a lot of fun, and let's get ready. First of all, it's very important that you are warm before you do this to prevent injury, and your body will be happy with you. So it's very important to have warm shoulders. You can rotate them, let's say 10 times backward, 10 times forward, with straight arms, with bent arms. Then also the wrists is very important, so also here you can rotate it one side, rotate them the other side, stretch them a little bit all sides. Then also the core, to have a warm core is very important, because the core, these are the muscles which will help us to stand upside down straight. So for the core, you can do cat-cow, up and down, to do a plank, here, make sure that you're straight, so that you're not here or here, and push-ups are always very, very good. For handstand, you can do it either here or on the knees. Okay, so if you're warm, I always like to start with a balancing exercise done on the feet. So stand up, and here to close our eyes. And when you close our eyes and bring your attention back into the body, you can maybe already feel that you're wobbly a little bit, that you're moving forward or backward. And if you move forward, in order to get back into the center, let's see what you're doing, what's happening. So, in order to get back into center, you press the toes into the floor. Yeah, press the toes into the floor to get back to balance. If you move to the side, you press the side you're falling into the floor to get back to balance. So that's also what's happening when you're either on your head, like this, or on the hands. Every time you fall towards a certain side, you have to press that side into the floor to get yourself back to balance. So the only thing is that if you fall backward, you don't have any toes to press yourself back. So what happens then is that you need to engage the front part of the body to pull yourself back into center. So you see, I lift the toes up. So also here, especially if you're in the headstand, if you will fall towards your back, towards the wall, probably, you have to engage the front part of the body in order to get back into the center. So that's one, but now we're going to make it a little bit more difficult, to understand the feeling of balancing. So, again, on the feet, lift up one leg, and then close your eyes. And then you'll feel that it's hard to keep your balance on one foot. So, this is also what's happening when you're upside down. Our body is not used to be upside down. The muscles are not used to it. So, this is probably the same feeling you will have. And then also here, when you concentrate on it, see what your body is doing every time to get yourself back into balance. Yeah, you can feel how your foot is probably getting tired a little bit, because every time it needs to press into the floor to make sure that you don't fall and come back to the center. So I like to do this exercise to become conscious of what the body does in order to balance, and like that it's also a little bit easier to do it when you're upside down. So not only to be with your attention to, oh my god, I'm going to fall, or it's scary, but to really feel what your body needs to do in order to stay upside down. Okay, next is the headstand. So, to make a headstand, we're going to make a triangle. So we're not necessarily standing on the head, but also on the arms, which form a triangle. So first I fold my hands together, and then I place them on the top of my head, not on the top of my head, on the corner of my head, let's say, so not here on the top, not on the back, but here where my bun is, where my hair is, like this. To know the distance of the elbows, because if they're too big, you'll fall towards here, because you don't have a body part which can counterbalance, which can bring you back into the center. If the elbows are too small, you will fall to the side, because also there you don't have any body part. So from the floor, you hold the elbows, and from here bring the hands together, and then you have the perfect triangle. Okay, next is going upside down. So in the right position, head in the hands, make sure that you're not with your full weight on your hands and not with your full weight on your head, but 50-50. Yeah? Your fingers shouldn't hurt. They should not hurt. So it's not, you shouldn't have your head so much on your fingers that your fingers hurt. Okay, so from here, hips go up, I walk towards my face, then one leg goes up. Here you don't have to go completely into the headstand yet. See if you can touch the wall and come back. So one leg always stays down to make sure that I don't fall on my toes and I hurt my toes. It's only one leg which goes up and one leg which stays down a little bit. So up and down, up and down. If you're ready for the next step, you can see if you can bring 2 feet up. And then the next step is to straighten the legs. And the last step, of course, is to balance. It's to balance without the wall. So important, because there are some things which I see go wrong a lot, is to have the body in the wrong position. Here, this is very often what happens here with the legs behind. So what you need to do is to engage the core. Yeah, already here because you squeeze this straightens. Second is to to engage the butt. This happens. Last one is to take the chest in here. Yeah, so you want your body to be completely straight. Not here, but to engage and to be straight. From here it will be much more easy to balance without the wall. So next I would like to show you some exercises which will help you getting into the handstand without the wall. Very important is not to jump. So when you're jumping, you don't have any control. The only control you have is how much you jump. And then it's very hard to learn to feel in your body how much you need to jump to end exactly in the middle. So you want to go up with the muscles, using the muscles to go up in the shoulders. Usually this is not necessarily so much about being strong enough. It is a little bit, but it's more about understanding which muscles to use, how to move the body. So also for me, it took me quite a long time to find out how to get my hips up without jumping. So I'd like to show you a couple of exercises. First one is from the first position, so head, arms on the floor, head in the hands, is to pull and to push your feet. So from here, see if you can pull your feet towards you and push them away. And pull and push. So what is happening, if you look at my hips, I pull my hips over my shoulders. Every time I pull my feet towards me. So, as you can see, I pull my hips over my shoulders, and eventually the idea is to lift up the feet. So, 3 ways to try. For everyone, it's they figure out differently. So if you don't manage, you can see if you can try those 3 things. It's more about the mind and where you put your attention. One of them is pulling the feet. Now see if you, by pulling the feet, can pull them up so much that you can pull them up into the air. So not only towards you, but pulling them up. The second one is to focus on the hips. So, especially if you do it against the wall, see if you can bring your hips towards the wall, if you can touch the wall. Yeah, so it's focusing on the hips. The third one is focusing on where to press away. So, if I go up, it's the same as when I do this balance exercise. If I want to go that way, I press my fingers into the floor. So you press towards the opposite side. Here is the same. I have the elbows on the floor, and I press my elbows away. Yeah, so I press my body that way. So from here, hips up. See if you can press the elbows into the floor until the hips start to lift up. Okay, you can choose which one of the 3, but with one of those 3 options, ways of bringing your attention. Let's see if we can lift up one foot and then the other. So from here, feet are close, you lift up one leg and lift up the other. Lift up one and the other. If this is easy, you can see if you can lift up a second one. So one leg is lifted, see if you can lift the other one. Yeah, 1, 2. It's very important that you don't jump. So if I have my legs here, I only lift up one. I don't jump in order to get it into the air. Everything needs to come from the muscles. Then also, nothing else in my body is moving except my lower leg. Yeah? So here, one leg is lifted, nothing else in my body moves except my lower leg. Yeah? So it's important that you don't jump up, because then still you're jumping and you'll fall to the side. And here it's about really using the muscles and not the jumping. Okay, those are 2 exercises to get into it. When you are in the headstand, in order to get more control over it, you can see, you can practice with moving the legs. So, when you're here, or into the headstand, let's see if you can go up and bend the legs. And straight and bend. And you see if I'm straightening here, I squeeze my butt in order to become straight. Yeah, so I'm not here. Oh, I'm falling immediately. When I'm straight, I squeeze the butt and engage the abs. And from here you can also play a little bit with the legs out, or one in the front and one in the back. But I'll leave the playing part to you. Okay, very short little introduction into the headstand. The headstand, even if you practice it once a week, even if you practice it once a week for 10 minutes or 15, you will notice how much you will progress, because it's not necessarily something that's very hard. Usually it's hard because people are afraid of it. So by doing it, you get over the fear, you train your body to get into it, and you will see that with practice, and not necessarily so much practice, also you will be able to do it. Okay, thanks for watching.